Okay, we are back at some baseball. Vype's season-long broadcast of high school baseball in the Cedar Park Timberwolves is about to commence for the 2024 season. I'm Brad Cohn, and I am so glad to be back with you guys uh, and the team for this year. A lot of you know, and maybe some of you don't, that I started last year. We were at this tournament a year ago, did this tournament, did the first couple of district games, and got cancer. I completely ran afoul of all the bad symptoms, which include no energy and strength and sleeping about 15 hours a day, of lymphoma. Turns out there's two kinds, Hodgkin's and non-Hodgkin's. Most people get non-Hodgkin's, and there's not much they can do for you there. They just make you as comfortable as you can be until you die. I didn't have that. I had Hodgkin's, which is, weirdly enough, contracted mostly by children, but that's treatable with 6 months of chemotherapy. I did that, finished in November. Was kind of doing that all through the football season, but was still had gotten my strength back enough to work football. And I am really happy to be here to do baseball again with Tyler Forrest and the Timberwolves. A lot of them back from a district championship team. A lot of stuff to talk about there, and we'll have to do that over the season. We've only got a few minutes, about 8 minutes until this game's scheduled to start here in Corpus. Our first game in the Corpus tournament that we're at for our 4th year in a row, I believe it is. Maybe it's the 5th. Yeah, I believe it's the 5th year in a row. They're going to be playing South San, they call them. It's South San Antonio High School, the Bobcats. It'll be the home team, the Timberwolves will be for this one. I'll give you the lineups here in just a second. The team last year won 24 games. At one point, I think they were like 11-10. And only lost 2 more games or 1 more game the rest of the year. Won the district title for the 3rd year in a row. The program has never done that before. Had 2 under Lanny Williams and now Tyler Forrest in his first year coaching at his alma mater. That's got to feel good. Takes him to a district championship and several rounds in the playoffs. And for the 3rd weird year in a row, speaking about weird things in baseball, 3rd year in a row, we win the first round 2-0. We win the second round playoff 2-0. The third round playoff, the team is scared of our pitching compared to theirs, so they demand a 1-game series, and we lose that game. 3 years in a row that's happened to us. We lost to really what are lesser teams than us because they had one great pitcher, and they didn't want to go against our much deeper staff. They knew they couldn't beat us twice, but with their great pitcher, they might beat us once, and they did. It was Rouse last year who finished, I think, 3rd or 4th in our district, and we beat them twice during district, but they did that to us in the playoffs. So that's getting old, and that's done. There are enough complaints about that from folks. The UIL's changed the rule. Nobody gets a 1-game series anymore. Gosh, I wish, who knows how far these last 3 teams could have gone. You know, this program's won something like 72 games in the last 3 years. 3 district championships. Who knows how far this program could have gone in the postseason if they had had that rule in place these last 3 years. Okay, so possibly 6 games in this tournament, or this event. I guess it's kind of a tournament. It's at least 4, 2 today, 2 tomorrow. Tonight at 8 o'clock, we're over at Cabanas Field, a wonderful stadium to play Corpus Christi King. We'll bring you that one too. But first, here we are against the South San Bobcats as the home team. Here's their lineup first if you're filling out a scorecard at home. They'll lead off with their catcher, Ernest Garcia. Batting second in left field, Anthony Chavez. Batting third, center fielder Alex Roman. Batting fourth in right field, Isaiah Caraman. Batting fifth at third base, Nathan Gallegos. Batting sixth at short, Marcus Estrada. Batting seventh, first baseman Roland Bazaldua. Bazaldua. I guess I got that right. Batting eighth, their DH Afton Gutierrez. Batting ninth on the mound, A-Rod. Alex Rodriguez. No kidding. Facing A-Rod today. So here are the Timberwolves lineup, the one you're really waiting for. Batting first and playing first base today is Cade Davis. Batting second at third base, the hot corner Hudson Cuevas. Batting third and on the mound, Brady Richardson. Batting cleanup and in left field, Drew Robertson. Batting fifth, right fielder Jake Cowlishaw. Batting sixth at second base, Parker Green. Batting seventh, the DH Luke O'Malley. Batting eighth, center fielder Mac Galindo. Batting ninth, excuse me, the shortstop Logan Hedges. Excuse me. Got something in my throat today. It's changed my voice. You might be kind of hearing it. I don't feel bad. I just kind of sound weird. Christian Gomez is the catcher, and he is the field player that is not batting if they're DHing for in the 7th spot. So you can see Brady warming up, throwing to Christian Gomez right now. I got to apologize. I hope you can see it. Our camera, this is unfortunate, this situation that we have to set up here because of where the power cord is. I can't get to the top of the stands. Got to set up right behind the fence, right behind home. You can see our position there. But unfortunately, the dang auto focus of the camera, and there is no manual focus, wants to focus on that dang black nylon fence in front of us. And so the players are kind of blurred. So, you know, normally because we have one single camera that doesn't move, I try to stay in radio broadcast mode for you anyway to describe the action that you may not be able to see well normally. Excuse me again. But I really have to do it today because I don't know how well you see. I promise that won't be the case tonight. The view from the press box tonight at Camanus Field will be very good. Remember that from times we've been there before. It looks like a TV game almost. So we're about ready to go. 3:26 here in Corpus is 4:26 in Atlanta. Those of you who are watching from there. Once again, I want to thank all of you for your support and your questions and kind inquiries during my, at this time, winning fight with cancer. My daughter's started a GoFundMe page, and a lot of Timberwolf Nation citizens contributed to, and wow, that almost jokes me up just talking about that. Thank you all so much. I don't know how to thank you. So the season's about to get underway at 3:22 Central Time in Corpus. I know they played last week, went 3-1. We don't count ties. There was a tie. But they went 3-1 in the first pitch classic at home. This is the first broadcast game, and there's the first pitch, a heater right down the tube for strike one, and here we go. 0-1 to the catcher, Ernest Garcia. And Garcia calls time and steps out. Cedar Park in their gray uniforms, pinstripes, black undersleeves, caps. Second pitch, another good one. Dipped on the outside corner, 0-2. Garcia there, you can see he's wearing the South San uniform. It's also gray, the road gray. A single blue pinstripe on the pants. Royal blue socks and undersleeves. Swung on, two-hopper to third. Fielded across the diamond in time. Hudson Cuevas to Cade Davis for out number one on the 5-3. They changed the scoreboard for you. I forgot about that. Top one. And there's one out. Batting two now, left fielder Anthony Chavez with one out, nobody on. Brady pitching from the stretch, even with no one on, as he has done. Another first pitch strike. That's something we'll track as the game goes on, as the season goes on, is which batters, how many times. Both teams start out 0-1 against the opposing pitcher right now. Both batters for South San have. This one on the ground. At short, to his right, bobbles it. He's not going to have time. He makes the throw, not in time. Aaron Parker Green, and we got one on with one out. Center fielder, three-hole hitter, Alex Roman steps up. All hitters so far have been right-handed hitters. 2 outs, one on. Richardson's induced 2 ground balls, so he's doing his job, throwing strikes. That one's a little low. Gets past the catcher, can't find it because it went through the umpire's leg, so the runner goes to second. That's the first 1-0 count Richardson has thrown to Alex Roman. He steps out to think things over for a moment. Oh, I wish you could see better on that camera, I really. And we got a game here tomorrow, too, so it'll happen that game. Tomorrow's games are at Moody High School and here. I can't recall if we have this problem at Moody or not from previous seasons. There's a nice pitch. A lot of Brady's off-speed stuff is finding it. 1-1 the count to Alex Roman. Right fielder Isaiah Karaman is on deck for the Bobcats. Decent lead at second. Swing and a miss. He pulled the string on that one and got him swinging a little too early. It's 1-2. One out. Anthony Chavez at second for South San. 1-2 pitch coming to Alex Roman. Swing and a miss. He fanned him. 2 down. So with 2 outs and Chavez at second, right fielder Isaiah Karaman steps in. Our first left-handed hitter. Batting cleanup for the Bobcats. The first pitch swung on, back up through the middle, shortstop to his left with it. Over to first for out number 3, Logan Hedges to Cade Davis on the 6-3 to retire the side. So, no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 man left aboard through a half an inning of play, no score. That just let you listen to the sound of the ballpark. All right, Brad Cohn back here for Vype's broadcast of Cedar Park football, our first one of the year. Top of the first inning of play. Nothing much for the Bobcats of South San. They didn't have an error on an infield ground ball. It got a guy on base. Other than that, the other 3 guys got out. A strikeout, ground out to third, ground out to short. Had 3 ground balls in the infield in the inning by Brady Richardson's pitching. So he is really doing a fine job so far. So they'll be at 5, 6, 7 when they come back up. We're at the top of the order here in the bottom of the first. It'll be Kate Davis, Hudson Cuevas, and Brady Richardson. Facing A-Rod. That's right, number 7 on the mound there is Alex Rodriguez. He's throwing to Ernest Garcia behind the plate. See what we can do here with the bat in our hands. Cade Davis has proven he can do quite a bit. He'll be the first one up. Left-handed hitter. And I'm telling you, I don't know if this is true or not, but since it's been almost a year since I've seen most of these guys, the guys I remember all look a little bigger. Some of it's growth, some of it's the weights, I guess. All the noise was from the South San dugout when they were up. Now it's coming from the Cedar Park dugout. Cade steps in. Here we go. First pitch bends inside and low, 1-0. As the season goes, I'll have the stats for you to talk about, but I don't have them yet, so can't tell you about hitting and walking and strikeouts and slugging percentages and stuff yet. That one sails outside, 2-0. Cuevas on deck, Richardson in the hole. Here comes the 2-0 from A-Rod. That's a good pitch, 2-1. Two and 1. Davis swung on, lifted to center. On runs the center fielder, has to go, and does he come up with it? He does. A great diving, forward thrusting catch by Alex Roman in center field. Takes a hit away from Cade Davis. Nice defensive play. One down. Hudson Cuevas, third baseman, steps in, right-handed hitter. With one out, nobody on for the Timberwolves. Again, I'll cough inadvertently throughout the broadcast. The wind's blowing right in my face, and I kind of got something at the back of my throat that's tickling it as well. That one's outside and way low and way outside. 1-0 to Hudson Cuevas. So of the 4 hitters to face Davis, 3 of the 4 started out 0-1. That is an important stat. We'll talk about that as the season progresses. That one's high, 2-0. Both Cedar Park batters against A-Rod have started out 2-0. Excuse me again. Davis in the top of the inning threw 10 pitches and 9 of them were strikes. Had a strikeout in the inning. Swing and a miss. 2-1. Hudson kind of swung and lost his balance at the end of that swing and lumbered across the plate a little bit. Umpire cleans it off. Here comes the 2-1 from A-Rod. Swung on, grounded to short. He falls down at the plate, so they're going to be able to throw him out easily. It's a one-hopper that gets him at first. It was going to get him even if he hadn't slipped and fallen on the slick plate. So it's a ground out to Marcus Estrada at short, throwing to Roland Balzodua at first, a 6-3 play, and there are 2 down. Pitcher Brady Richardson steps in, right-handed hitter. Two outs, nobody on. And that's a wild pitch outside, 1-0. Well, there's no score. They've had a base runner and error. We haven't had one at all, so there's not much separating these teams yet, except for one thing. Most of their guys are starting out 0-1. All of our guys have started out 1-0. See how that might play out as the game goes on. Swung on and fouled into the net above my head. 1-1 to Brady Richardson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 Cedar Park fans are in the stands. It's kind of cold and windy. I'm impressed that many people came on out. Comes the 1-1 to Brady Richardson. Swung on and fouled into the net above my head again, 1 and 2. I've noticed past years here, they never used the scoreboard. You know, they got a 1 lit up in the inning column in the middle of the board. I don't know, you can't really see it. It's in right field. It's behind one of the knots in that nylon fence. And none of the other lights are lit up. So nobody in the stands, unless they're keeping track themselves, knows counts, knows outs, knows the score. That one's out in low, 2-2. And the history here is some of our fans will come up to me and tap me on the shoulder or look at my score sheet that I'm writing here every once in a while to be sure they know the score. That's cool. Now you guys, by staying away and watching this, know more than some of the fans who are here. That one's a little high. It's kind of right where I liked to swing at him when I was a player. Full count to Richardson. I would have had a hard time laying off of that one. Outside. Oh, it's outside for strike 3. And that ends the inning. The pitch was a foot outside. You saw it there, but they called him out. So 3 up, 3 down on a fly out, a ground out, and a strikeout. We'll be right back. Listen to the sounds of the ballpark.
or do not disturb.
Okay, to go through one complete inning now, no score. We have not yet had a base runner. They had one on an error, but he was stranded. Look at the pitch counts. Mentioned earlier that Richardson for Cedar Park, 10 pitches, 9 of them strikes. Also threw a strikeout in the inning. Their pitcher, A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez. I'm going to be saying that all day. I'm sorry. It's hanging right there in front of me. I got to do it. A-Rod has thrown 14 pitches, 7 strikes and 7 balls. He was credited with a strikeout when he threw ball 4 to Brady Richardson. You saw it. The catcher was having to dive to his right and completely extend his left arm across his body straight out to his right side to catch it, and that was somehow called a strike. So it has started already. Okay, so we now go to the top of the second inning. No score. They are at 5, 6, 7 in their order, the South San Bobcats, and stepping in first is third baseman Nathan Gallegos. Oh, he doesn't start out 0-1. That one's a little outside by Brady. 1-0. Actually, the only one before this that did not start out 0-1 is the one guy he struck out last inning. Started out 1-0. That one's good. 1-1. Low and inside. 2-1. Shortstop Marcus Estrada is on deck for them, and then the first baseman Roland Bazaldua. We'll look at our defense here after this pitch. Behind Brady. Fouls into the net. 2-2. Outfield across from left to right is Drew Robertson, Matt Galindo, and Jake Collishaw. The infield from third to first, Hudson Cuevas, Logan Hedges, Parker Green, Cade Davis at first. Christian Gomez behind the plate, catching for Brady Richardson. Here's the 2-2. Again fouled into the net. Here comes pitch number 6 of the at-bat. Count is 2-2 to Nathan Gallegos. Taking his time. Here's the delivery. A nice bender. It was a strike that the umpire missed. Count runs to full when strike 3 was called ball 3. Man, that was a great pitch. Throw that one again, I'll call it a strike. On the ground, shortstop gathers it. Excuse me, second baseman. It goes over to first in time. So that was Parker Green to Cade Davis, and a former middle infielder myself, and so at second base, that's good to get a ground ball early after an error. Just kind of get that taste out of your mouth and out of your glove. Gallegos down on the 4-3, brings up shortstop Marcus Estrada. With one away, nobody on. Swing and a miss on a curveball. That was really nice, 0-1. So through 6 hitters now, 4 of them have started 0-1 against Brady Richardson. Of the previous 5, 4 of them have hit ground balls in the infield. This one's lifted foul right side to chase him, but it lands out of play. 0-2. First baseman Roland Bazaldua. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. Bazaldua. 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 It's not Smith. 0-2 to Marcus Estrada. Outside and high, 1-2. He's kind of hoping to sucker him into a swing there. Something that would not be very hittable. Swung on and missed. Goes very far from the catcher. He traces it down, gets it to him, but not in time. So we'll get a strikeout in the books for Brady's pitching stats, but it's not going to count out on the field. It's the dreaded D3K, the drop third strike. It's got him at first. So 1 out for the 7-hole hitter, first baseman Roland Bazaldua Smith. Brady throws to first. Let him know he's there. And we'll track those for you too. We'll mention a couple of national high school baseball stats we've run across over the years and verified in our tracking of them. And one has to do with that. Runner goes, but it's fouled, so he'll go back. And that also means Bazaldua starts 0-1 as well. The stat is that in high school baseball nationwide, 1 out of every 7 throws at a base, at a runner, by a pitcher is thrown away. And once I heard that about 5 years ago, I started tracking it in our games, and by God, it's true. And not only is it true, as that one's outside, 1-1, it's true almost on the button. I do this for Concordia as well. We track that stat for them. Last 2 games, on the 7th throw, they threw it away. So not just 1 out of 7, but it's like every 7th throw, I guess. So it's amazing how our stats, just watching Cedar Park and Concordia games these last 5 years, have verified that that is true. 1 out of every 7 throws at a runner on base by a pitcher gets thrown away. And the guy gets 1 base or more. There he goes, but it's fouled again. 2-2. Going to run out Marcus Estrada's legs on foul ball. They're wanting to test out the arm of Gomez right away. Hedges playing fairly close to the bag at short with the left-handed hitter. Second baseman is farther away from the sack than short is, and he turns and throws again at first. There's not really much of a lead there. He's not just letting him know he knows he's there, and so that's 2. At number 7, very likely might throw it away. On the ground, 3 bouncer to short. He bobbles it. Will he have time? Yes, he has time at first. They'll throw to second to try to get him diving back in, but nothing there. You know, it would have been a hard 6-4-3 DP anyway, because he was running right at the plate to get it. It was a dribbler. And I don't know that he could have gotten it back to second and then over to first in time anyway. So we got an out of it on a 6-3. And there are 2 down for DH Afton Gutierrez. Estrada did move to second on the plays. They've twice had runners in scoring position now, once in each inning. Another left-handed hitter. Ooh, look at that little bender. It's low, though, or maybe inside, or maybe both, 1-0. A-Rod is on deck. Actually, nobody's on deck, so he's scheduled to hit next. South San is, well, I'm looking here, yeah, all of these names are Hispanic surnames. And the chants from the dugout are all in Spanish. So if they're intended to intimidate the other team, they're not gonna. Don't know what they're saying. Strike right down the pike. 1-1 to Afton Gutierrez. Now the fans here might know the count because this umpire's done a good job of every other pitcher so holding up the count and calling it out for people. Maybe he realizes that the scoreboard isn't operating either. It's a little low. 2-1 for Brady Richardson, who just 10 pitches in the first inning. This will be his 19th in the second. There it is. Ground ball between short and third for a single into left field. The first ball that's been hit into the outfield. So runners at the corners as Estrada goes to third, and the no-hitter is done. A-Rod steps in, the 9-hole hitter. So top of the order is on deck now. 2 outs, runners at the corners. Brady needs to get this out. We will be at 4, 5, 6 in the order. That's Robertson, Kalashaw, and Green when we come up in the bottom of the second. That one's high and out, 1-0. So first time through the order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 9 started off 0-1. The last 2 here have not. So at one point he was 5 of 7. Starting off 0-1. That one was high. Since I was not a pitcher, I played every position except pitcher at least once in my youth. Since I'm not a pitcher, I don't know how much seeing one of their runners on base at third, you know, gets into your head when you're trying to, you know, your right-handed pitcher staring right at them in the stretch, facing them, and trying to get that batter out. That was a swing and a tipped miss into the glove, so 2-1 to Rodriguez. There's another tip. Runners stay put, 2-2. Tipped it off the top of the glove. 2-2, and Brady's a strike away from getting out of this one. Want to get this out and not get around to the top of the order where the better hitters probably are. Runner moves from, no, yeah, let's not get suckered into that. Got him. Yeah. Oh, I hope y'all saw that one. Looked like a sucker play at first. They sent the runner from first, trying to distract our defense into focusing on him so that the runner from third could go home. Well, we kind of looked like we were distracted, but as soon as the guy broke for home, the shortstop Hedges, who was running the guy back towards first, stopped and fired home to Christian Gomez and got Marcus Estrada at the plate. So that would have been a, pitcher to short, to first, to short, to catcher to get him out. So Rodriguez will be leading off the next inning. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left aboard, still nothing through 1 1/2. Okay, looking at Brady now, he's thrown 24 pitches in that inning, 14 strikes, 10 balls. He did get credit for a strikeout. They didn't get logged in on the field because there's a drop third strike and he got to first, but he gets credit for it as a pitcher. 23 strikes thrown, 11 balls, now for 34 total pitches in the game as we go to the bottom of the second. 4, 5, and 6 due in the order for the T-Wolves. And leading off, Drew Richardson, the left fielder. First pitch, way outside and in the dirt. Backhand stab. Digs it out of the dirt for Ernest Garcia. 1-0 to Drew Robertson. Jake Kalashaw, the right fielder, is on deck, and then second baseman Parker Green will follow him. Swing and a miss. That was outside, but it curved there. It kind of slid over, induced him to swing. So 1-1 to Robertson. wind-aided speed for both pitchers. The wind is right at their back. This one's lifted foul out of play to the right side, 1-2. And there's something that's kind of non-standard here. Corpus Christi ISD has funded and attached a dark green batter's eye protector in center field on the fence, but it has ripped loose on the bottom and the sides, is attached at the top, and is flapping at their face. Fouled out of play, or on the ground to the right side, 1-2 still. So instead of something to calm your eye and give you a background against a thrown ball, it's very distracting. 20 knot wind that you're batting against, aiding the speed of the pitcher's throws, and you got that thing flapping itself at you. Swing and a miss, he's down. 2 straight strikeouts now, credited to Rodriguez. One of them was honest, that one there. Got him swinging. So 1 out, nobody on for the right fielder, Jake Kalishaw. Here's some Beechcraft King Airs in the pattern for Corpus Christi Naval Air Station. It's a major pilot, advanced pilot training base for the Navy. About 3 miles out in right field there. Swing and a miss on the first pitch to Kalishaw. He becomes the first Cedar Park batter to start 0-1. That one's in the dirt right at me. 1-1. That's about the 4th pitch that pitcher has thrown that's way out and low. When he misses, that's kind of where he misses. Corpus Christi ISD would do well to just go out and get some cords or something and tie up that flapping thing in center field. Very distracting to the hitter's eye. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 to Kalishaw. Strike away from becoming the 3rd straight Cedar Park strikeout victim. Swung and fouled it out of play. Back behind us, still 1-2. This will be the 10th pitch of the inning for Alex Rodriguez. He threw 14 in the last one. Fouled into the net by Kalishaw, keeping him alive. Still 1-2. I think it's getting cooler. At least I'll be in a press box behind the window tonight. Okay, they say they rung him up swinging. The pitch was dropped by the catcher, so strike 3 dropped. Once he realized that, he didn't realize that he'd rung him up. Kalishaw goes, but they throw him there anyway. Throw him out there anyway. So here's the 3rd straight strikeout victim. That one standing, it was high and in, and he thought he checked his swing, but they didn't give him credit for that. So 2 outs, nobody on. 3 straight strikeouts now against Alex Rodriguez. And here's second baseman Parker Green. High for strike 1. 2 in a row now start 0-1. High and outside for ball 1. Luke O'Malley, the DH, is on deck. He would be our second left-handed hitter. Richardson being the other. Excuse me, Davis. Up through the middle. A single. Nicely struck by Parker Green. And there goes their no-hitter. So 2 outs, 1 on, Green at first. With Luke O'Malley, the DH, coming into the plate. There's a throw. That's one. So we'll see. We haven't seen Rodriguez have to perform with runners on. That bothers some pitches more than others. Some pitchers more than others. We'll see how it affects A-Rob. Didn't seem to there. Nicely thrown, strike one. 3 in a row have started 0-1 when none of the first 4 did. So maybe he's settling in. We need to strike when we can. Swung on, grounded foul, right side, 0-2. So now center fielder Mac Galindo is on deck. Then the shortstop Hedges if we keep it going. Then back to the top. O'Malley here is hitting in the 7 hole today. The pitch. Ooh, a nice curveball for a called strike 3. So they throw down because the runner went, but unnecessary since the pitch was a called strike 3 and that was an honest one. So he has struck out 4 of the last 5 batters. Still no score. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left aboard. Tied at 0 through 2 complete. All right, a little comparison of the pitchers now. Brady has thrown 34, 23 strikes, 11 balls, faced 9 hitters, has 2 strikeouts, given up 1 hit, no runs. Alex Rodriguez, the South San pitcher. He's faced 7 batters, thrown 31 pitches, 21 strikes, 10 balls, has 4 strikeouts, and has given up a hit. We got a good little pitcher's duel cooking here. Top of the 3rd now. They are at 9-1-2 in the order. Alex Rodriguez, the pitcher, will get a restart to his at-bat. He was at 2-2 when the weird, unsuccessful runner sucker play failed for South San. We threw a guy out at home. This one is low. Ball 1. There's a little static in my earphones as well, so I hope that's not coming through to you all. High and in, 2-0. With the sounds that I'm hearing in my earphones, with my voice and the sounds of the ballpark from our ambient sound mic all seem to be coming through. Even if the camera's not all that hot. That one's in the air behind us. Some kids chasing to try to catch it. 2-1 to Rodriguez. We're all looking straight up and saying heads up. I'm always wondering which of this piece of expensive equipment that I have is going to get smashed by a baseball, or is it going to be my head? Foul territory, first baseman drifting over and makes the catch against the fence. Nice play by Cade Davis. Rodriguez is down on the foul out to 3. And we're at the top of the order with catcher Ernest Garcia. Last time up, he grounded an 0-2 pitch to 3rd. It was thrown out. Cuevas to Davis. Pretty good sized guy there. Catcher Garcia. Crouching behind the plate, you don't see that size. He's well over 6 feet. Low, 1-0. You know, I also realized something too late here, because I'm realizing it right now. I'm in a bad spot with this camera. I I got to think about that next time. A lot of these right-handed hitters, from your camera's point of view, are blocked out by the umpire's body. On the ground, back to the mound. Shortstop grabs it on the run. Over to first in time. Good defensive play. Logan Hedges to Cade Davis for out number 2. Nobody on, 2 outs for the 2-hitter left fielder Anthony Chavez. This guy hit a pretty routine ground ball to second last time. Made an error there, and he lived at first. So I bet Parker out there, like I would when I was a second baseman, is thinking, okay, hit it to me again just like that. High over the plate, but a little high. 1-0. 1, 2, 3, 4 batters in a row now have started out against Brady 1-0 and not 0-1, so not going in the direction we want there. Swung on and fouled into the net. 1-1. Center fielder Alex Roman's on deck. If he makes it, he struck out swinging last time. Brady's only strikeout victim so far. See if we can double him up. Swung on and lined foul over the first base dugout, which is our dugout. 1-2. Now he's a strike away. Richardson getting out of this. Oh, that was nice. It started like it was going to be way high. And at the very last instant, dipped down into the top of the strike zone for a called strike 3. So 3 up, 3 down for Richardson in that inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Nobody got on base. And we are in the middle of the second inning, still tied at nothing. Well, there's nobody controlling the scoreboard wherever that happens, but wherever that happens, somebody's controlling the music. They're putting some nice music on. They got good speakers here. Between innings. So a 0-0 game with 2.5 in the books. We're going to the bottom of the third. Cedar Park at 8, 9, and 1 in the order. They'll lead off with center fielder Mac Galindo, and then shortstop Logan Hedges in the 9 spot. Then back to the top of the order with first baseman Cade Davis. Galindo and Hedges become the first 2 players in the game, or the last 2 players in the game rather, to take their first at-bats here. And it's 4:09. We started pretty much right at 3:30. That's the thing, if you know, your center fielder Galindo hadn't had any defensive plays yet, hadn't had any at-bats yet. You're 40 minutes into a game you're playing before any action comes your way. And here he goes step into the plate. Galindo leading off the bottom of the third. Trying to see if we can get some runs on the Timberwolves side of the scoreboard, or our scorecard. The scoreboard doesn't work here. Swung on, lifted. Shortstop over underneath it in shallow left, just a couple steps into the grass. Galindo's down, swinging on the first pitch and popping it short. Shortstop Logan Hedges. Hedges has had some defensive action. Got a couple of 6-3s. Ground balls he's throwing out first, and he's the one that ends up throwing the ball home from a lot closer to first base than his position in the base pass to get the out to end the second inning. First one misses outside and low. 1-0 to Hedges. Swung on and lifted into right center field. On comes the right fielder. It's going to drop. Does he make the catch? He does make the catch. They've had 2 great running forward catches by outfielders in this game. One by the center fielder, Roman, and that one was by Isaiah Karaman. I hope I'm saying that right too. Carraman. So Hedges is down on the P9. We're top of the order with Cade Davis. He popped out to center. That was the other great defensive play, the one that started the game. Inside with the fastball, 1-0. In the game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batters in a row have been retired for the two teams combined. Those teams were getting people on base, and now nobody is. That one was inside for a called strike. 1-1, high and inside. Cade is not 6'7". Plate's not 30 inches wide either. That was right down where we should be. That was right down the tube, and he called the ball. Okay. We're at 2-1, and that's where we should be. That's inside. He gets past the catcher to the wall. 3-1. And let's see if I'm looking here. Yeah, he's only the third batter of the game to run the count to a 3-ball count on him. 2 outs, nobody on for Davis. Trying to see if he can find a way to get on here. Way high, and he does. 2-out walk for Davis. First walk of the game by either side. Cuevas, the third baseman, Hudson Cuevas, steps in. He grounded out to short first time up. I don't have South Sands record. I was talking to their coach earlier, and I'm in early season form too, so I make those kind of mistakes. There's a strike on the outside edge, 0-1. I didn't ask him his record, so I don't have that. Cedar Park, in a sense, 3-1-1. They've played 5 games and tied one of them, but I've talked to you before. There's their second throw over. There are no ties in baseball, so when one happens, we just ignore them in the record. I don't say they're 3-1-1. They're 3-1. Outside and high, runner goes. Throw down is in time, and he's got it. Good, quick delivery by Ernest Garcia. Didn't spend much time in his glove before it left his throwing arm. Down to Marcus Estrada, the shortstop, covering the bag at 2, and that got Davis. Top of the fourth, they're at 3-4-5 in the order. Leading off, center fielder Alex Roman. Bunts. Good one towards third. On he rushes. Makes the throw. Digs it out. Nice job all the way around. It's a tough play for Cuevas to come up that quick and then to get the throw off as hard as he needed it. It was low and in the dirt, but Cade Davis dug it out of the dirt. Good play by both of them to get Chavez on the, or excuse me, Roman on the 5-3. One out. In steps four hitter, right fielder Isaiah Karaman. Their first lefty. They had two. The 7 hitter is a lefty too. Karaman is cleanup guy. There was a nice bender for a strike. 0-1. 2 in a row now. Starting back in the right direction. Starting off 0-1 against Brady Richardson. Wow, I thought that was high. Okay. 0-2. He has called several pitches that I thought were high strikes. He's called a few pitches that were way outside of the strike zone strikes. Swung on, lifted, foul, left side. Still 0-2. I'm gonna start something this year to keep. I keep track of the two strike foul balls. You can have an infinite number of those. You can theoretically play till the end of time with one guy up at the plate, fouling every pitch off. So I track those, and sometimes it's interesting to see how many of them there can be. So instead of 0-2 right now, I'm going to tell you that it's 0-3, and you'll know what I mean. Takes the 0-3 pitch on the ground to shortstop. Hedges to Davis for the out. 2 outs, both. Again, ground balls in the infield. Now what we had here that Richardson has induced. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 infield ground balls induced by Richardson in this game. It's only 1.5 times through the order. Here's third baseman Nathan Gallegos. Pitchers conference here, making sure that Gomez and Richardson on the same page. Against Nathan Gallegos, their third baseman, grounded out to second the first time up to start off the second inning. On the inside corner for a strike. Cars going across the outfield, leaving the parking lot here at Corpus's Veterans Memorial High School. School gets out. Strike 2. One pitch away from a 1-2-3 inning. It would be his second in a row. Faced 4 hitters in both the first and the second. Well, fouled. That started high. It was dipping down sharply into the strike zone when he got a piece of it. So by the measure I was saying a moment ago, tracking 2 strike foul balls, that makes the count 1-3. That one's high. 2-2. 2-3. I better not do that. I'm just going to get myself and you confused. 2-2. But this is pitch number 6. The at bat at 2-2. Swing and a miss. He's got it. Nice pitch. It was low and inside, but he got there on a bend, so it started over the plate, made him swing. So 3 up, 3 down, the second inning in a row. We are through 3.5, still tied at 0. ironed out yet, so that's why I'm just kind of going away, tabulating some pitching stats, and letting you listen to the ballpark sounds and music between innings. And Brady right now, I don't know when coach starts worrying about pitch counts or whatever. It's a long weekend, possibly 6 games in 3 days. He's thrown 55 pitches in 4 innings, 38 strikes and 17 balls, so better than the 2-to-1 strike to ball ratio you look for. Way better than that this last inning. 9 strikes and 2 balls for only 11 pitches thrown. He threw 24 in the second when they got a couple runners aboard. Other than that, in the first, third, and fourth, 10, 10, and 11. It's a great economy of pitches by Brady Richardson so far. So we go to the bottom of the fourth. 2, 3, and 4 due in the order for Cedar Park. Third baseman Hudson Cuevas leads it off. Brady Richardson's on deck. Ooh, that's a nice curveball for a called strike one. And Drew Robertson, the left fielder, is in the hole. This is a restarted at-bat for Cuevas, who also started out 0-1 when the last inning ended with that pickoff, caught stealing rather, at second base. That one's low in the dirt and off to the side. 1-1 to Cuevas. It's like a car show with all the vehicles going across left to right in the outfield there. Oh, that's a nice pitch. That's one I wouldn't have swung at either, because as the batter on the right-hand side, the right-hander's side, that looks like it's coming at your left shoulder. And there's no way you're thinking of swinging, but man, it's bent down and to the left and right over the edge of the plate. Good pitch. I'm kind of impressed with A-Rod as a pitcher here. This one swung on and lifted high to right center. Players both going for it. Center fielder calls him off and makes can of corn catch out there. Alex Roman, 1 down. Brady Richardson. He earned a walk his only other time up, but they called ball 4, strike 3. It was way outside. Way farther than that one they called the ball. So 1-0. High. 2-0. Yeah, 38 strikes, 17 balls. That's 4 pitches over, 4 strikes over the 2-to-1 strike to ball ratio you're shooting for. That guy's a little under it at the moment. That one misses. Let's see, counting this, well, coming into this inning, he's thrown 26 strikes, 15 balls, so he's a little bit under the 2-to-1 ratio. But he's got more strikeouts. They all kind of happen in a row. There's a good call, strike 1, 3-1. So let's see, strikes now he's got 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And balls, he got 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 30 and 19. He's only at 3-2. And there's ball 4, outside and low. Richardson. So 2 of the last 3 batters he has walked, and I was just saying I was impressed with him. I guess I should have said that earlier. Here's a left fielder, Drew Robertson. Struck out swinging at a 1-2 pitch to lead off the second in his only trip to the plate previously. Not sure what the umpire's jotting down in his notebook. We don't have a pinch hitter or anything. Hadn't been a defensive change. Not sure what that is. That one's low. Yeah, once again, we want to apologize to you for our camera. What it's doing, it's on autofocus. I can't get it to change to any manual focus setting. And it wants to focus on the nylon netting that's about a foot in front of it, and so it makes the players blurry. And I jacked with it all through pregame. There's nothing we can do about it. It'll be better tonight when we're up in the press box. That one's high and up. 2-0. timeout now. Well, I'm not sure. The umpire said something into their dugout. Hoping I haven't missed a pitch, but I may have. I got a 2-0 count. They're throwing to first. He's back in time. That's their third. I think it's 2-0. Swung on, chopper to short, grabs it, goes to second. Well, the pitch, the throw got away from the second baseman, but the umpire called Richardson out on an illegal slide. And you can see Tyler making his case. Tyler is adamant about the guy making. So anyway, we'll see if Tyler ends in doing anything, but this is, I call this an out on the umpire. So anyway, we're through 4, still tied at nothing. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, argument's over, innings officially over. Tyler Forrest was making his case that it was not an illegal slide, but of course loses the argument, as always happens. Umpires are always the official decision, whether they're right or wrong. They're not always right, but they're always right. You know how that goes. And also, I think I missed a batter change while I was talking to you all, because I had that down as the second out, so I'm not sure I have what Drew Robertson did correct with the play. We'll figure that out by seeing who they send up in the bottom of the 5th. That's my phone calling me with a scam call, so let me put that one down for you. So through 4 complete now. Still nothing. And in a pretty good pitcher's duel. It's been an interesting game so far from that standpoint. Looks like defenses, pitching staffs are farther along in their progress early in the season than offenses are. Had some offensive mistakes and not a lot of hitting. Both teams just with 1 hit each. Called strike 1 now as we go to the top of the 5th. Brady Richardson on for his 5th inning of work. That's his 56th pitch of the game right there. It's a called strike to the 6-hitter shortstop, Marcus Estrada. Swung on, fouled, in the air, chasing it. Oh, it lands in the concrete in front of one of the fans on the left side. Gomez was chasing it, but no. You know, and he did something, of course you can't see on the camera, but he did something that is very important by catchers. He was carrying his mask and looking up the entire way. Carrying his mask in his throwing arm, as he was not going to throw it till he knew where that ball was going to come down, so he doesn't accidentally trip himself with that mask. On the ground, 3 bouncer to short. Can't get it. Safe at first on the error and shortstop. So 2 routine ground balls that should have ended up as outs from Richardson's pitching standpoint have not. A couple of infielder errors on the middle infielders, 1 each. Here is first baseman Roland Bazaldua. Another throw over. It's 3 for us, 3 for them. Shows bunt, good one towards third. On he runs, the play is at first and he makes it. Does advance the runner to second, Estrada. Sacrifice bunt by Balzaldua. 5-3 on the put out. Cuevas to Davis. So here's the 8-hitter DH Afton Gutierrez, who has their only hit on the game, a single back up through the middle on the ground. So I believe we're at Cowlishaw when we come back at 5, 6, and 7. We'll find out for sure. Pitch catches the inside corner for ball 1, if you know what I mean. Another pretty big guy, this left-handed hitter, the DH Gutierrez. Good-sized guy. There's a called strike 1, 1-1. A-Rod, the pitcher, is up next. No outs, one out, runner at second. Didn't have my scoreboard right, but I corrected it for you. Line foul to the left side, not playable. 1-2. Need somebody to get the ball is what the umpire is saying, so they're sending somebody down from their dugout. It's still in play in foul territory, about 3 feet away from the side fence down there. Okay, they got it. Here we go. 1-2 pitch coming. Ooh, that was nice. Guess it was a little low, 2-2. It's a good pitch by Richardson. Doing great on the mound today. Ooh, boy, that was a nice pitch. 3-2. Hadn't had a lot of luck on offense. He's the one that got an obvious way wide ball 4 called strike 3 on him, and he's the one that got called out at second, supposedly on an illegal slide. Didn't look illegal to me. Didn't look like anything non-standard at all to me. There's a walk. First walk of the game from Richardson. Their pitcher has issued 2. Now we got runners at first and second with 1 out for the 9-hitter, Alex Rodriguez. Fouled out to first baseman last time, Davis. Might be Davis pitching tonight. Corpus Christi Kings, a good solid program. South San looks pretty good here. Trivia question. What legendary college baseball coach started his coaching career as the head coach at South San? Now they're going to pinch hit here for Rodriguez, which means a new pitcher coming in. 25 is batting in the 9 hole, and that is, I think it's Mateo Solano. Mateo Solano steps in. Right-handed hitter, pinch hitting. Shows bunt, pulls the bat back, takes a called strike 1. Good throw by Brady. Nice pitch for a called strike two, and the South San fans are saying that was high. He is a shorter player than most. I could take their complaint that that was a little high. But he's been calling high pitches strikes in a lot of cases today. Swing and a miss, a throw down to third, closer play than I thought it was going to be. So he gets a strikeout, almost gets a strikeout throw out DP, but nope, safe at third is Estrada, shortstop. Runner in the meantime goes from first to second. So Tyler is arguing with the umpire that the batter's box, or the batter, got in the way of the catcher. He's probably not going to win that one either, but I like that he's making the argument. So 2 down now. Correct the scoreboard for you. Out 2. We go to the top of the order with catcher Ernest Garcia. 0 for 2, ground out to third, ground out to short. So if this plays out, it should be a ground ball in the infield. 2 runners in scoring position now. That one's a curve that stays outside. Some sort of breaking ball anyway. Here it comes. 1-0 stays down and low. Down and low. Yeah, down and low would be in the dirt, I guess. Down and outside. 2-0. Outside and wide. Down and low. Here comes a 2-0 to Garcia from Brady Richardson, and that one is also outside. 3-0. This will be pitch number 74 on the day for Richardson. We're in the top of the 5th with 2 outs. Really need to get through this inning. Ball 4. Loads the bases. Only his 2nd walk issued of the game. So Garcia at first. Gutierrez at second. Estrada at third for Anthony Chavez, the left fielder. He is 0 for 2, a ground ball to second and a strikeout looking. 2-hitter though, so he might be due. You don't get to be a 2-hitter by not producing offensively. There's a strike, outside edge, 0-1. Cedar Park fans were vocally supporting the umpire's correct decision on that call. Two outs, bases loaded, the 0-1 pitch. Cue ball foul towards our dugout. 0-2. Now a strike away from getting out of a bases loaded jam. Here you go, Brady. Bear down. And they're going to pinch run for the catcher, which you can do in baseball without pulling him. Give him a chance to get his equipment on early, I guess. So they got a guy in a sweatshirt out there with no number running at first base. Have no idea who that is. I'll still call him Anthony Chavez. Calls timeout and steps out. Now he did that on an earlier at-bat too. Right, it was almost time to deliver the pitch. Calls time and steps out. A lot of umpires don't give you that time. On the ground to second base. Underhands it to short, covering the bag at 2 for the 3rd out, and Richardson does pitch out of the bases loaded jam. We are through 4.5, still tied at 0. We'll be right back. we are now, back in the bottom of the 5th inning. It is Kalishaw, so I don't know what out I missed in the 4th inning. Okay. I think I missed Robertson getting out somehow. Kalishaw was up when we had the out called at second. Swung fouled, tipped it off the catcher. Kalishaw starts 0-1. Now looking at Brady, he's through 5. Might consider pulling him at this point in the game normally, but there's no score. But anyway, he's got 78 pitches, 51 strikes, 27 balls. Here's a strike, 0-2. And he's induced 9 ground balls out of 18 hitters. Struck out 3, walked 2, giving up just 1 hit. Grounded foul, pulled to the left side, still 0-2. Parker Green's on deck, then Luke O'Malley. And my nose is running like a horse. Way outside, that's the pitch he called strike 3 when Richardson was up in the 1st inning. Good eye! Whoa! It hit his back first. Yeah, it hit his back first, but the umpire didn't catch that. I did. So did some of the Cedar Park people. It hit his shoulder and then hit his back. The umpire's only giving the back credit, so that's just another 2-strike foul ball. Swung on, lifted to center. Over to his right, underneath it, makes the catch. Good day out there for Alex Roman. F8 for Kalishaw to start the inning here in the bottom of the 5th. So 1 down, nobody on for second baseman Parker Green. He's got our only hit of the game. This is a 2-hitter for both teams combined. Both pitchers working on 1-hitters, 1-hit shutouts. High and in, 1-0. They've sent more people to the plate than us, but we still have another couple of outs here. Outside for a called strike. Whoa. Wow. There's a foot outside for a called strike. Swung into the net. Another strike. 1-2 now to Green. And the problem with that is it makes batters swing at pitches that are not strikes anymore for the rest of that at-bat. It scares them away from swinging at the pitches that really are good. Changes what a batter can do. See, made him swing at that one, was way outside. That was specifically caused by the called strike 2 that was in the same area, about 2.5 feet outside. So it goes in the books as a strikeout for Green. Luke O'Malley, the DH, to the plate. Struck out looking the last time up on 3 pitches. I'm sure he wants to redo that. The second of our 3 left-handed hitters. Galindo on deck is the 3rd. There's a nice pitch. 0-1. This will be the 53rd pitch for A-Rod, swing and a miss, 0-2. So by that measure, he's quite a bit ahead in this game in almost the same number of batters and same number of innings. Our guy's got 78. He's at 53. 25 fewer pitches. Hopper at the second baseman. Grabs it over to first for out number 3. Isaac Serna to Roland Bazaldua on the 4-3 to end the inning. 1, 2, 3. We're through 5 complete. Still no score. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, I was a little bit wrong counting up his pitches. I didn't count one of the innings. I hadn't tabulated the inning itself. I was just looking across the bottom. Anyway, he's actually at 67 pitches, A-Rod. 43 strikes, 24 balls. Not as good a strike-to-ball ratio as our guy, but fewer pitches by 11, facing 2 fewer batters but the same number of innings. He's only had 1, 2, 3, 4 base runners, and none of them have been in scoring position. The 2 of the guys who were trying for second were thrown out there or called out there. So we've had no runners standing in scoring position in this game. They have had 1, 2, 3, 4 out of their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 base runners. 4 of their 6 have reached scoring position, second or third. So we're going to the top of the 6th now. Update your scoreboard nugget there. The bottom left. There we go, top 6. And we are at 3, 4, and 5 in their order. We got a new pitcher, Dominic Naylor. Everybody's yelling, "Go Dom." He's in for Brady. Naylor number 23. Let me update my thing. So close the book on Brady Richardson. Can't get the win or the loss. Had some quality time on the mound. No! Foul ball, fair ball. Okay, folks, I hope you saw much of that. The pitch was behind him. He ducked. It hit his bat laying on his shoulder, landed in fair territory, and the defense, specifically Hudson Cuevas in from third, fielded it like a bunt and threw him out. That's the most unfortunate play you could ever have as an offensive player. So there's one down. To the plate, right fielder Isaiah Karamak. That one misses. Swung on and driven into right field for their second hit of the game and only the third hit between the 2 teams of the game. So they've called timeout. Head coach come out and talk to ump. They're going to pinch run. And this is number 2, I think. Running for the right fielder, Karaman, 15. The 2 is Angel Alvarez. We'll see if he comes in on defense too. Nathan Gallegos, third baseman, comes to the plate as the umpire informs Tyler of the change. Gallegos, the first time up, grounded to second. Second time struck out swinging at a 2-2 pitch. Got 1 out and a runner on. Answer to the trivia question from a couple innings ago, and there's a throw over. That is our 4th. Trivia question was, what Hall of Fame collegiate baseball coach started his coaching career coaching South Sands? Cliff Gustafson. Coach Gus. Long-time Longhorn coach. Winner of 27 conference titles. Went to Omaha umpteen number of times. Pitch misses to Gallegos, 1-0. Outside, although farther inside than several, he's called a strike. Swung on, back to the box. He looks at second. You know, he actually had a chance. He had more time than he realized. I think he looked at second as a kind of a coached-in thing. But he had time to actually throw it there and get that lead runner. But he gets the guy at first, so it's a sacrifice bunt in effect, moving Caravan's runner Alvarez to second. 1-3 is the put out. So 2 outs. Shortstop Marcus Estrada is scheduled. Let's see, that's 20. What number is that? Yeah, it's 11. That was 21. 11 is Marcus Estrada. He got on the drop third strike and was thrown out of that wild play at home. And then he also was left at third when he found an error at short. So he's got on for free by our mistakes both times and got to third both times. There's that pitch that's way outside in the strike. Their fans are griping about it now. The call has gone for them most of the day. Suddenly now it's a travesty. Oh, 1 to Marcus Estrada. 2 outs, runner at second for the right fielder. Angel Alvarez is there. Oh, what a great bender that was. Great curveball. Called strike 2. Need this out. This is their 5th runner to get to scoring position. We've had nobody. All 4 of our runners never got farther than first. 2 of them thrown out trying to get to second. Ooh, that was close, but I guess it was a little in. 1 and 2. Nice crowd here today. A lot of them in winter clothing. I kind of wish I'd brought more. Shivering here. 4:56, pushing 5 o'clock here. Coastal Bend area of Texas. Swung on, and this is lifted to left field. Back into his right. Goes Drew Robertson and makes the catch. Can of corn after all. So an F7 to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left aboard through 5 1/2. Still stuck at nothing. Okay, back to the action now. Brad Cohn here bringing it to you from Corpus Christi's, I almost said War Memorial, Veterans Memorial High School. Fairly new school here, kind of south part of town. Nice looking building. Baseball field's in pretty good shape. They just don't have the scoreboard working. Probably would be a good idea to turn on the lights here too as we get deeper into the afternoon. Pushing 5 o'clock now, just a couple of minutes away, and it's seeming to get a little dark here. Cedar Park now in the bottom of the 6th. Pinch hitter, 23. Well, no, he's the pitcher now, batting for himself. Dom Naylor. That's a strike on the outside edge. He's batting in the 8th spot where center fielder Galindo has been, so we'll probably have a change there. I don't have my binos on, so I won't be able to tell you who that is. That one misses. 1-1. Leonard did a good job on the mound there. His outing only threw 9 pitches, 6 of them strikes. Called strike. 1-2. That was a good pitch. I am impressed by this guy. He had one little struggling spot in the fourth, but other than that, he's looked pretty darn good. This one's back up the middle, off the mound. A-Rod gets it and tosses it to first to Basil Dua to retire Naylor. It's a leadoff hitter in the sixth. Down on a 1-3. One away, 9 spot coming up. It's been Logan Hedges, and it still is. Umpire goes and talks to the head coach of South San for a minute, who is not Cliff Gustafson anymore. Yes, Gustafson is not Gustafson anymore. Hedges, last guy in the game to take his second at-bat. He popped out to right field first time up. There's one down the middle for a called strike one. Tipped it. Strike two. Mr. Hedges are back at the top of the order with Davis, and he is on deck. One hopper to third baseman, can't grab it. Will he get it in time? No. No, he was not making. Now he's going because there's nobody there. And they throw that away. Now he's going to third because there's nobody there. Oh my goodness. The defense fell completely asleep. All right, y'all didn't get to see a lot of that because the camera sucks today. But it was a one-hopper to the third baseman who couldn't keep it in his glove. He had to turn around and grab it. That forced a throw that was wild at first. It went past him. The runner turned, but he didn't make a run. He turned in foul territory and then turned towards second base. So they were yelling they should tag him because he'd be out, but he wouldn't. But then they screwed the ball around and realized that all their people had come to first base. There's nobody at second. So he took off running for second. The third baseman leaves third and goes to second, but they throw it over his head into the outfield. Now there's nobody at third, so then he runs to third. So we've seen a couple of wild base running plays in this game. I guess like you often see in early season high school games. It was Hedges, our shortstop, who did that. Start off with a simple one-hopper at third that third couldn't handle, and then the defense didn't handle the remainder of that play. As the South San fans think that he should have been called out for what he did around first, but he turned into foul territory, then turned and looked at second. He didn't make a move to second, and that's really the definition of the rule. Here's Davis inside with the fastball. So in the book, I got to get an E5 as the reason that Hedges gets on base, and then he gets all the way to third on 2 other errors. So there are 3 errors made in that particular play. Their pitcher's coming out, or their coach coming out to talk to their pitcher right now. So there's 1 out. He is at first, a 1-0 count to Cade Davis. Still a 0-0 game. I'm kind of surprised it's 0-0. There's been a lot of people by South San in scoring position. A lot of people at third. Had a player thrown out at home, another one thrown out at third. We've had chances, at least for them, to get some runs. We haven't had too many chances, but gotten it done when we needed to, both on the mound and defensively in the field, to keep all those base runners from scoring. Now we got our own there, 90 feet away, Logan Hedges, bottom of the 6th. So if we can get him home, we just need 3 outs for a win. Davis at the plate with a 1-0 count, if I'm still remembering. A lot of noise in the CP dugout. Now he's got to look at a runner at third for the first time today. That's our first runner to get past first base today. That one's high and out. 2-0. driven to right center field. It's going to fall. It goes to the wall. The run scores. Davis rounds first, heads for second. In with a stand-up RBI double. Cedar Park takes the 1-0 lead. First multiple base hit of the game for either side. All their hits, well, all two of them have been singles. So here's Hudson Cuevas, third baseman. Comes in with one out, a run in, a runner at second. He's over 2, grounded out to short and flied out to center. Let me get your score change. Haven't had to do that all day. 1-0 Timberwolves. This one's in the air. Makes a catch right in front of us. 2 down. Cuevas goes after the first pitch and fouls out to the catcher. Brady's at second with 2 outs. And Brady Richardson to the plate. Struck out on ball 4 when they called it a strike instead, and then he walked and was called out at second, sliding in there as an illegal slide. That one is ripped but foul. If he could have taken that just inside the line. Davis has the speed to make it 2-0. So where they are is right at the bottom of the order. Mostly where a coach, more often than not, puts hitters that aren't doing as well offensively, so that bodes well for us. A just foul. Pulled up the left base side, maybe 18 inches foul. That would have brought in the run too. So he has had 2 foul shots, one to each side, that would have brought in the run if they just been inches the other way. Oh, 2 with 2 outs. Davis at second. 1-0 lead, bottom of the 6th. Outside. Oh my God, for another called strike. Oh my goodness. That's a good 14, 16 inches outside the plate, and he called it a strike. We got it on the camera if you want to do the replay. All right, well, we'll be back in a minute. Cedar Park's got an effort going to win this game. We're going to the top of the 7th, last chance for South San, down 1-0. Timberwolves just need 3 outs. We'll be right back. Okay, we go to the top of the 7th now. Timberwolves leading 1-0. Need 3 outs, and they've got to win. There were 3 errors in that last inning, all of them on the same play, giving first, then second, then third to Logan Hedges, and who ends up scoring the run. So they are at 7-8-9. Here's first baseman Roland Basildura. That one misses. 1-0. He calls time, does Roland, steps out. First trip up, he grounded to short. Second time, a sacrifice bunt that the third baseman fielded for the out. Fastball outside has been called a strike all day to right-handed hitters. 2-0. Swing and a tip into the catcher's glove. 2-1. evens the count at 2-2. DH Afton Gutierrez is due next. He has one of their 2 hits and a walk, so we haven't gotten him out yet. Then Mateo Solano pinch hit for their pitcher last time. This one's lifted. Deep short. Can't come up with it. I can't charge him with an error for that. He's running, it's falling into the wind. I'm going to call that a short single. Third hit of the game. Or 4th hit of the game, rather, for them. So no outs, tie and run aboard at first for the DH. If that's still him, yes it is, 21 Afton Gutierrez. 1 for 1 today. Also with a walk, both times stranded though.
1 strike at a time right here, let's go. That's okay, get him in second.
Got a pinch runner again, same guy that's got a sweater on covering his number, so I can't tell you who it is. Probably got better speed than Basil Dua, who's a pretty big guy in their first baseman. He's the tying run. 120 yards and 2 left turns away.
Let's go, Dom. Here we go now. Fire it in there.
Get him in 2, let's go.
Not 120 yards, excuse me. 90 yards. 120 yards would be from home, right? A home run. Fastball inside and low, misses from Dom Naylor. 1-0. This will only be the 16th pitch from Naylor in the 2 innings of action he's seen. Outside with the fastball, but he calls it a strike. I love it. Thank you. Finally, it's working for it. The lights have just come on. Help a little bit. No outs, runner at first for Afton Gutierrez. Here comes a 1-1 from Dom Naylor. He steps on.
Very good, Dom. Good job.
I'm getting cold. Imagine these guys trying to do things with their fingers with gloves and balls and bats. I can barely write with my fingers right now. Push keyboards. Nice stop. Gomez kept one from going to the wall and putting the tying run into scoring position. 2-1 to Afton Gutierrez. I think that is Solano again in the 9-hole on deck. We'll see. Fastball that he called a strike a minute ago on. Didn't do it that time. 3-1. They're about to put the go-ahead run on board if they walk it. Be great to get about a one-hopper right at shortstop right here and start a DP to clean off the bases. One hopper at short. Everybody be ready out there. Here comes the one hopper at short. There's a called strike instead. 3-2, full count. I believe, as I'm looking back, let's see, that's only the 3rd full count of the game. The other 2 happened to us. It's the first batter of theirs that's reached a full count. A run, or excuse me, a throw over again at 5. We get one more before the odds are against us.
Win this, 2-3, let's go.
Called strike 3, and that one was a good pitch. He didn't miscall that one. Right on the outside the corner. So 1 down, still a runner at first. Let's see if that's the same guy. No, it's a different guy, number 12, Julian Hernandez. Write that down here.
Hey, good job, Dom. Focus in now.
Let's go, Dom.
Tempo up. Roll 2.
Go, Cedar Park.
Julian Hernandez in the 9 spot with 1 out and a runner at first. Cedar Park just needs 2 outs for a win. And there it might be to second, but did he come off the bag? And he's out. Did not come off the bag. Yeah. Yeah, they're calling him safe at second. So the tying run is still in scoring position, but the runner, and it's interesting, Hedges had a chance to come, he had plenty of time to come back to the bag with his foot and get that lead runner out, which is the one I would rather have had. We almost had a game-ending DP. They tried to execute the right thing. Naylor did go to second. He should have had plenty of time. Just made the throw a little wide. The bag made Hedges come off it. So there's 2 down, but there's a runner in scoring position now who could tie the game for their leadoff hitter, Ernest Garcia. He's hitless in 3 trips. Called strike on the outside edge. Be a post-game show, although this game really could use one. A lot to talk about here because I have to shut down and pack this stuff up as quick as I can, go check into the hotel, then get back over to Cabinets Field soon enough to set it all up again for the game at 8 o'clock. I just had a fly land on my paper and fly away. How could a fly be out of this weather and this wind this time of year? Really kind of weird. 5:16 p.m. here in Corpus Christi, Texas. Fastball on the ground at the third baseman. Drags it over to the bag for the out. Cuevas to Davis for the win. 1-0 Timberwolves. A bizarre play led to the win. We hadn't had a runner pass first all day until Logan Hedges grounds the ball to third. Third baseman bounces off his glove. He's got to go back into his right to pick it up. That forces a bad throw at first, so he's safe. Hedges goes past first, turns right, but then he turns back and looks at second. Did not make any move to second, which is the key there. South San people think he should be called out right there because then they tagged him. But no, he goes back to the bag. Then, with the ball seemingly dead, he notices that all of their infielders from the left side, except the third baseman, their shortstop and their second baseman have all come towards first. So there's nobody at second. So he takes off just running for second before a timeout can be called for the dead ball. The third baseman then leaves third base and heads to second because there's nobody there. He's going to try to take the throw from the first baseman. It goes wild into left center field. Now there's nobody at third, and Logan rounds second and goes to third and reaches that easily. 3 errors. One gets him to first, one gets him to second, one gets him to third, and then he comes in on an RBI double, the best ball hit of the day, off the center field wall by Cade Davis to drive in that winning run in Cedar Park. 1-0 on the day, 1-0 on the weekend, 4-1 on the season. I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to tear this stuff down, and we'll see you all at about 8 o'clock.